Are they gonna take these mugs away from me now?
No, you get to keep it.
Right.
This week in the Ready Room, I visit with Star Trek's version of Bonnie and Clyde, Locke and Moll actors Elias Toufexis and Eve Harlow. And we explore this season's spectacular props. Don't go anywhere. Hey nerds, I'm Wil Wheaton, and this is the Ready Room, your official behind-the-scenes hub for the Star Trek universe. Props have helped bring the world of Star Trek to life since the original series. This season, some of the most important props are the clues that led to Discovery's final mission. A little later, we'll get an up-close look at those clues and how they came to be. Now, we can't talk about an episode as important as this week's without spoilers, so I am calling for a black alert. If you haven't seen Season 5, Episode 7, Eriga, stake your claim to the throne or your favorite viewing chair, stream it, the episode, not the chair, don't be weird, and come back here as fast as you can. You don't even have to leave that favorite chair, unless it is weird. But first, this week's episode is a big one for Locke and Moll, like really big. Fortunately, I've got Elias Toufexis and Eve Harlow, who play the star-crossed pair, here to break it all down. Control room, engage. Eve, Elias, thank you so much for being here today. Let's get started. Eve, welcome to the Star Trek universe.
Thanks.
Elias, welcome back to Star Trek Discovery.
Thank you.
Tell me how each of you came to join the show.
I got an audition.
Yeah.
And then I put myself on tape for the audition.
Yeah.
And then I got the part.
It's just that easy. See,
all you have
you
to
too can get onto Star Trek with 3 simple steps.
Very easy.
Elias, were your steps as simple as Eve's?
They were less simple to a degree because I had already done the show. I had done 1 episode way back in the first season, and I asked the casting director, please, if there's something else ever that I could play, because I love the show and I love Star Trek. And to their credit, 5 years later, they called me and they said, I think we have a part for you.
Your characters really I was on board with them from the very first moment we see them. I immediately got the Bonnie and Clyde nature of their relationship. Did you build a story outside of what we see on screen?
I remember talking a bit, Eve, about, especially when we were doing all the Breen stuff, the back in the past stuff, when they fell in love. I remember talking about like what were the steps to get to where we see them at the beginning of the season. But one thing I loved about this actually is, you know, I play a lot of bad guys on TV all the time, and you do too.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, you don't get the background. You especially don't get it to play. Yeah. You get it sometimes to like, you're like, well, this is what happened.
Yeah.
Or most of the time, it's like the protagonist has a little monologue about this is why they're doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
In this case, one of the things I was so excited about was we got to play how we got there.
Early on, when Locke is in his helmet and we never really get to see your face, but we see you, and we see you very clearly, it is so clear. The love that Moll has for him just explodes off the screen. And that all kind of lived in your performance. Like, these are our big bads, and I'm cheering for them all season long. I want this to work out.
I mean, I think that like you look at like some of the best villains, their evil doesn't come from nowhere, right? In fact, their evil actions usually come from the fact that there is this big love and that there's something that they really want to protect and really want to like survive. I think anybody can understand that if you're a human being because you've loved something, whether it's like your pet or your mother or your partner or whatever, you know?
Elias, when Locke's helmet comes on and you're performing under all these prosthetics,
yeah.
I noticed that your eyes really popped in that, and I could see this kindness in your eyes. It's in your eyes right now. It's just that, like, I get that's who you are as a person. So it's real interesting to me that you have such intense emotion that you need to convey, but you only get to use this part of your face.
It was very tricky.
Yeah.
Because I don't have eyebrows. My mouth is pretty much my mouth, and my eyes are under contacts.
Yeah.
And the biggest note I got over and over from every director was bigger.
Of course, because it has to read.
It has
the
to
subtle
read.
movements that we
And
use as humans don't read through
everything
the
I
makeup.
do as an actor is very trying to keep it as naturalistic as
Yeah.
possible. And, you know, Tunde would come up to me and goes, I see what you're doing,
Yeah.
but it's not going to read.
Camera
man.
doesn't.
you got to pick it up. You got to pick it up. It wasn't easy. It was a very big learning experience for me. I'd done minor prosthetics before, but nothing that major.
This season, Moll and Locke are on this amazing quest. What is it that you think drove these two to initially begin the search for the progenitor's tech?
It's just freedom. They don't care what it is.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think, at least at its core,
It's just another option presented.
we just want to get out of here. And we want you to leave us alone, and this will give us power and money to do that.
I was, as an audience member, hoping against hope until the moment we know that Locke's not gonna make it. That Locke's gonna make it. Like, I was gutted.
Yeah.
And
Good cry. No.
I just felt like this is so unfair. Like, you've been through so much.
Yeah.
Where does Moll go from here?
I don't know. I don't know. I think grief is a process. You know, like it's
All
not
right,
to
that's
be all
fair.
like,
No, that's a fair answer.
you know, like not to be all get all like serious about it, but like when you lose the person who's been like the shining light of your life and everything, I don't know. I think it takes time.
As an audience member, I got to enjoy this quest that you are on this season. And all of us here in the Ready Room have just been so inspired and entertained by all of it that we put together a behind-the-scenes look at how all of the clues you followed came together and how some of the more unforgettable props that were used in the creation of those clues were filmed. Check this out.
This season is very props heavy. It's a lot of fun. The entire season follows an arc of one prop.
In terms of developing the clues, each one of them sort of became organic to the episode itself. We knew that we wanted those clues to be an integral part of each adventure, and we knew that we wanted the clues to teach our heroes something along the way.
The journey of season 5 begins with a prop and ends with a prop, so it's a really exciting season for us where we got to build one element throughout the entire season and sort of kick it off with a really fantastic practical build, which was the Romulan puzzle box that Locke and Moll steal from the Romulan science vessel. This is all real wood, real ingrain, real staining, just a beautiful, very technical piece. Once complete, VFX takes over and does this wonderful reveal of what the real prize was inside of this. And you'll see the Romulan diary. Zora creates this map holder, and she builds it to the scale, because once we have key number 1, we know what the scale of this is. So Zora builds this for us. In this corrosive look here, we actually built into the prop the Trill fingerprints. That leads us to Trill, where we run on an adventure with Janal, leading us to our second clue, which is the space coordinates, which we then discover is actually a portal to another dimension where the ISS Enterprise is hiding. And there we have to battle Moll and Locke in order to get key number 3, because they've beaten us to it. This is the tough one. It was like, what is this? And our team struggled with this for a little while until Kovich helped out with a clue, realizing then that we have to go to this very dusty planet to get us our 4th key. And later then we discovered that this, what looks like a scratch on the vial, is actually where key number 4 is hidden. It's in tower number 5. And then we see our team insert that, and then we know that we've got one more to go.
So we had this idea that you are absolutely allowed to say no to. Because you two are this season's big bads, we thought that it would be fun to play a Star Trek game with the two of you and see how many Star Trek villains you can name in 20 seconds.
This is all you, buddy.
So here's how this is going to work. I'm going to give you a couple of options here, and I think I know which one you're going to take. You could either work together as a team, or you could play against each other.
We'll work together. We'll split the prize. We'll cut it right down the middle.
Okay.
Sweet. See this guy.
Terrific. Well, I kind of love that it's the two of you against the world. That seems thematically appropriate. Control room. If you want to put 20 seconds
like
on the clock. Okay. All right, ready?
I don't know if I can...
The timer begins in 3, 2, 1, go.
Arsenal Freedom!
That's one.
That's one. Khan.
2.
Captain Krug from the third one.
That is 3.
Chang.
Chang, that's 4.
Chang's daughter. No, she's not
How about
really
not
born.
Klingons? That's 5.
Trelane.
Trelane.
Q.
Doomsday Machine!
The Doomsday Machine.
Yeah!
That's right. Okay. Eve, that's 2. Elias, that's, I believe, 5 for you, 4 of which were all Klingons.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Extraordinarily well done. We would have accepted the Breen.
I know, we didn't say us.
Damn it. That's because we're now villains. What did we just discuss?
That's
okay.
perfect. This game went so much better than I ever could have hoped. I'm going to declare you both the winners.
Nice.
And our prizes for you are official, highly sought after, very rare Ready Room coffee mugs. Congratulations.
I've dreamed
They
of
will
this
be
my
delivered
entire
to you
life.
now.
Oh, beautiful.
Here you are.
Thank you, sir.
They are remarkably similar to my Ready Room coffee mug. Congratulations, congratulations. I'm very happy for you.
I think we deserve this.
Control Room tells me that you've brought something very special for us to share with us.
As a little parting gift,
Yeah.
I've decided to bring a clip from the next episode, 508, for your viewing pleasure.
Wow, nerds, check it out.
Hello and welcome. I'm Hyrel, one of the sworn order who tend to the Eternal Gallery and Archive and call it home.
I'm Captain Burnham of the Federation Starship Discovery. Thank you for the speedy response.
Oh, we saw you coming. Very exciting. We love visitors. I'll be explaining how to get into the archive in a moment, but first there's a little speech we like to give. The Eternal Gallery and Archive is proud to house the largest known collection of historical and cultural artifacts in the Alpha or Beta quadrant.
Sorry to interrupt, but we're in a bit of a hurry.
Of course. We can talk while we travel. Sending coordinates and velocity adjustments now. As this is your first visit into the archive, please follow my instructions precisely and do not deviate. The archive is not responsible for any damage, dismemberment, or death that may result in your failure to do so.
Was that meant as a joke?
I guess we'll find out. Commander Asha, take us in.
Hi, Captain.
That moment when Burnham's like, skip intro. It's just...
We've all been there.
It's like very, extremely relatable, right?
See, now I look at clips like that and I'm like, that must have been like 2.5 hours in the chair, 3 hours in the chair.
Yeah.
That's all I see now.
We're at the end of our interview, which is a bummer for me because my cards have run out, but my head is filled with hours of questions for both of you.
Well, go ahead. No.
I would just, listen, I just want to give you both the last word. Is there anything that you want to say? Anything you want to leave our fans with?
All jokes aside, this was the best set that I've ever worked on, and I'm so, like, not to be cheesy and corny, but you guys have both heard me say this. It was like a dream come true working on this. Even like knowing nothing about the franchise, it was still a dream come true to work with the kind of people that I worked with, and like being given this character was so much fun to play with. And now I'm getting really cheesy, so it's all you.
To echo what Eve said, it's just like I said, I've played a lot of bad guys, so I bounce around from show to show to show, and very rare, if ever, I don't think has there been a group of people as welcoming, from the crew all the way up to the producers and Sonequa.
And talented. Everyone's so talented.
I'm very proud to have been on it in that first season, and to bookend it with this. I couldn't be happier.
Thank you for your time today. Thank you for your work this season. I wish you all the best in your future voyages, and maybe we'll run into each other at cons or something like that. Next week, Cleveland Booker himself, David Ajala, chats with me about Book's journey of redemption and all things Season 5, Episode 8, Labyrinths. I will see you back here in 7 days. Until then, I'm Wil Wheaton. Long and prosper.